Hello, my name is Bob Marks, and this is Astrology Now. This is the program for people who want to learn about astrology. Today we're going to take a look at the fire signs. Now, even if that's not your sun sign, you should still pay attention to it because you may have planets in these signs. What are fire signs like? First of all, everyone knows that there are 12 signs to the zodiac, and too much has always been made of them. Everybody wants to ask about their sun sign. What's going to happen to my sign tomorrow? What other signs do I get along with? Astrology doesn't work that way, folks. Besides the sun sign, there's a moon sign, a Mercury sign, a Venus sign, a Mars sign, a Jupiter sign, a rising sign, lots of others. They all have to be taken into account. But everybody has every sign somewhere in their horoscope. Even if you have no planets in a fire sign, you still have to have the sign itself somewhere in your horoscope. Astrologers divide use the old elements of the ancient alchemists to divide the signs: fire, earth, air, water. Well, fire is fiery, earth solid, practical, air is intellectual, water is emotional, intuitive, psychic. But the fire signs begin everything. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Aries is like, well, it just explodes onto the scene. It charges right in. Leo is like sunshine. Sagittarius is like a candle in the night. All the fire signs tend toward being assertive. You see, with fire, they just charge in, and if they can't get things done exactly, the way they want, they'll charge off someplace else and burn that area. Fire signs again are they're inspirational. Let's take a look at a sample horoscope. This is the horoscope of Pete Rose. His nickname on the team was Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose was an Aries. As a matter of fact, a double Aries. He also had the Aries as his rising sign. Now, what's a rising sign? That's the sign that was rising in the east when you were born. We always put it at the left side of the wheel. And what is Aries like? Like an explosion. Again, it charges, it just blasts right in, gets the job done, and then goes off to the next crisis. Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. Pete Rose was born with the planet Mars sitting there in Aquarius. Mars takes about 2 years to circle the sky. And Aries people tend to change everything they do every 2 years. As a matter of fact, once I mentioned this a few years ago on the same program, and I got a phone call from someone who said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." What do you mean, thank you? Who is this? "Oh, I'm an Aries. I change everything I do every 2 years. All my friends tell me I'm unstable. Thank you for telling me I'm not crazy." Again, this also can get a person into a little bit of trouble. That fact that the Aries charges right in. They live or die on that first charge. Aries is a sign that's very pioneering. They always have to, to open things up. And they're always hitting. If it's not one battle, it's another. With Aries, though, the battles are never personal, or never that personal. It's just, hey, this is what I've got to do, boom. All of the fire signs, again, tend to be very personal. Something is with them, something is against them. And that's that. And if it's not with them, if it's not helpful to them, they'll just sort of push it to the side as they charge forward. Let's take a look at the next horoscope. This is the horoscope of Debbie Reynolds. Again, an Aries. She sort of burnt out Eddie Fisher. Again, Aries is a sign that just has to keep charging forward. In addition, in Debbie Reynolds' case, the sun is very close to the planet Uranus, the planet of sudden upheaval, which is also an Aries. Well, here is somebody that definitely doesn't rest. She's still working now, when most people her age would be retired. Aries is again the forward charge sign. Now, why did she have such terrible luck with the men in her life? That wasn't because she was an Aries. Remember, folks, you also have to look at the ruling planet of the sign. and Aries is ruled by Mars. Debbie Reynolds had Mars at 29 degrees of Pisces. There is a fixed star there called Sheat, S-E-H-E-A-T. It has the effect of the planet Saturn, the planet of bad luck. It's a very difficult position to have anything. To have your sun sign ruler there, well, in a woman's chart, Mars also tends to rule the men of the life. So it went from bad to worse in her case. Let's see, on top of that, I don't believe her Mars had it had one good aspect to the planet Venus, but that was about it. Again, if you look at the entire chart, there's Pluto at the top. That's a career that dies and comes back, dies and comes back, dies and comes back, again and again and again. But the main thing here, you know, she's in Aries, and look where the sign of Aries appears in the horoscope. Even if you have no planets in Aries, the sign of Aries has to be somewhere. Debbie Reynolds had it on her house of marriage. So she got married again and again and again. Aries, it's a very active sign. Let's take a look at the next horoscope. This is the horoscope of Jerry Brown. Again, an Aries. Aries, the sign that blasts right in. He was governor of California. He succeeded. He went to, he tried to be president of the United States. He fell flat in his face. No problem. Aries, get up, charge again. Now the mayor of Oakland, I believe. Again, Aries is a sign that always has to keep on the move. When Aries is not on the move, well, you get a very sad Aries. In Jerry Brown's case, he's got the sun in the same sign as the planet Saturn. So Saturn tends to be a little more, well, business-like or organization-oriented. The fact, though, that he has his moon in the sign of Cancer, well, that's a clash with his Aries sun sign. Both signs, Aries and Cancer, are very active. However, Cancer works with moods. It works with instincts. It also tends to attract a lot of Cancer women into the life in a man's chart. And, well, he was having an affair with Linda Ronstadt for a while. Again, you always have to consider the entire chart. Aries is not a spacey sign. But yet, Jerry Brown always had the reputation of being Governor Moonbeam. Now, why? Not because of his Aries sun. Look to the whole chart. Everything is at the top. That's the node of the moon. It's not a planet. We don't have to deal with it as a planet. One planet at the bottom. All of the energy of the chart funneled out through that one planet. Because when you have one planet on one side of the horoscope by itself, it acts as a funnel. Neptune. Planet of dreams, illusion, delusion, confusion. Well, it's also a very idealistic planet. But again, that's why he was called Governor Moonbeam.